Hello and welcome to my patch notes rundown for the 28th of June. This week's patch notes introduces the long-awaited Grimoire page rebalancing, coupled with the Scattershot ninja strike. We also have a few item dialogue options being converted to interfaces, as well as a healthy change to Exsanguinate spell. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Players can now override the appearance of legendary pets. The chameleon and raccoon object pets have been converted to interface pets. Torn Grimoire pages have been added to the loot table of Lost Grove Slayer creatures. With these drop rates, you're expected to receive 1 Grim page every 5 Lost Grove creature Slayer task, which is almost a whole day of efficient Slayer, or 2 hours of AFKing them off task, which is not worthwhile since there are much more accessible and profitable AFK methods. I don't know why they didn't just increase the rate of Grim pages through Solak, rather than attempt to redistribute them to Lost Grove creatures. In my opinion, I think Solak should guarantee 2 pages per kill, with a 50% chance of receiving 4, making an average of 3 pages per kill, which is 9 times more than it currently is. This would cause the GB per hour of Solak to shoot up as the demand for Grimoire and the pages skyrocket, and there's nothing wrong with that since the GP is mostly generated through unique items rather than pure GP in the form of alcohols. Increase the quantity of Baneite stone spirits from 50 to 70 to 80 to 110. Increase the quantity of light Animica stone spirits from 40 to 50 to 60 to 90. The drop chance of Baneite stone spirits has been lowered, and the drop chance of light Animica stone spirits has been raised to fill the gap. I don't understand why they decided to make this change since the light Animica drop is worth less than the Baneite. Maybe they decided on this before Raksha was released when it was worth more and didn't revise it? Who knows? Change the tiny spiky rune salvage drop to medium bladed rune salvage and will drop in quantities of 30 to 45. Change the battle staffs drop to mystic earth staffs and will drop in quantities of 30 to 50. Enchanted Lyre improvements. The tooltip now displays teleport charges remaining. The configure option now has a dedicated interface instead of a dialog box. The play option will now ask you where you want to teleport to. The quick teleport option will now teleport you to the configured location. I really like the idea of all dialog box options that aren't directly involved in NPC dialogue to be converted to a dedicated interface. Continuing with general quality of life. Frenetic Sea Boots improvements. The configure option now has a dedicated interface instead of a dialog box. The boots can now configure the quick teleport option on the Enchanted Lyre. The boots can now use the same teleport options as the Enchanted Lyre. All skill outfits will now prompt you to destroy all pieces after 1 piece is destroyed. However, the same skill outfits can still not be retrieved from Diango as a set. The achievement interface will now remember what you were looking at when you close and reopen it. Reduce the rune cost of Exsanguinate. 5 fire rune cost reduced to 2, 3 blood rune cost reduced to 1, 1 death rune cost reduced to 0. This is now 3 times cheaper than before, which is definitely needed considering that you're using them repeatedly with every ability hit, assuming you're utilizing it correctly. Insight Fear and Exsanguinate stacks are no longer lost when transitioning between boss phases. The Animate Dead spell buff is no longer lost when teleporting to certain places. Fix an issue causing Rack and Ruin to deal too much damage to stun targets. However, they still have not fixed the fact that stalling Rack and Ruin with the use of a melee offhand or being out of range does not consume the Exsanguinate stacks, which means that the 300% ability can be used almost constantly. Zoom sensitivity will no longer revert to the default value after relogging. And that's it for this week's patch notes. I'm going to be honest, I'm severely disappointed with the Grimoire page changes, especially considering how long we've waited. I feel like this is going to have an unnoticeable impact on the affordability of using Grimoire. Anyways, that's it from me. Thank you for watching and take care.